Good afternoon, everyone. If you are a doctor watching this video, let me start with a quick show of hands. How many of you have ever sent a patient reminder and they still didn't show up? I guess it's everyone, right? Of course, because that's the reality of running a clinic today. Patients are busy, life gets in the way, and somewhere between your front desk calling them at 9 a.m. and their appointment at 3 p.m., they forget. Or they meant to reschedule, but they never did. Today, I want to talk about a tool that nearly every one of your patients uses every single day, and that most clinics in India are massively underusing. The tool is WhatsApp. And by the end of this session, you will know exactly how to use it to fill your appointment book without annoying the people you are trying to help. Let me tell you about Miss Sharma. She is 54, diabetic, and was supposed to come in for a quarterly follow up. She had every intention of coming, but her daughter called in the morning. She got busy with work, and by afternoon, she just didn't come. Now, multiply Mrs. Sharma by 5 patients every week. That is 20 patients a month who are slipping through the cracks. Not because they don't trust you, not because your clinic isn't good, but because your communication system has a gap in it. And here's the thing about the gap, it's not expensive to fix. You don't need a new software. You don't need to hire someone. You need WhatsApp, which Mrs. Sharma already opens 12 times a day. That is 38% no show statistics. That is not unusual. That's the industry norm when reminders are absent or ineffective. And every no show is a patient whose health outcome is worse and a time slot you can never get back. Here is the single most important insight of today's session. You don't need to convince your patient to use the new app. You don't need to teach them anything. WhatsApp is already on their phone. It's already open and they already trust it. 500 million Indians use WhatsApp. Your patients, whether they are 28 or 68, are almost certainly among them. And while your email reminders might sit unread in their promotions folder for day, a WhatsApp message gets opened in minutes. We are talking about a 98% open rate. That's not a typo, 98%. But here's what makes WhatsApp genuinely different from SMS and bulk email blast. It's conversational. A patient can see your reminder and tap one button to say, "Yes, I will be there," or "Can we reschedule?" That back and forth is what transforms the notification into a relationship. And in the healthcare, relationships are everything. Now, before we talk about strategy, we need to talk about foundation because the single fastest way to ruin your WhatsApp communication program is to start without the right setup. First, WhatsApp business. If you are messaging patients from your personal phone number right now, please stop. WhatsApp business is a free app. It takes 20 minutes to set up and it gives you a professional clinic identity. Your patients will see clinic name, your hours, your services. It also lets you set automatic reminders so patients who message at 2 a.m. get a friendly response instead of silence. Second, and I want you to take this seriously, always get consent before you message anyone. This isn't just about being polite. In many countries, including India, unsolicited commercial messages have legal implications. More importantly, a patient who opted in is a patient who actually wants to hear from you. That one single change, going from cold broadcast to opted in communication, can double your response rates overnight. And the third, know your boundaries. WhatsApp is brilliant for logistics. It is not a clinical channel. Don't send lab reports with sensitive values over WhatsApp. Don't share diagnosis details in a message. Use it for what it does best: reminders, confirmations, instructions, and care. For clinical data, Point patients to your secure portal. Now let's get to the heart of it. There are five distinct ways you can use WhatsApp across the patient's journey. And together, they create a system that's almost self running. Think of it as a conveyor belt. The patient first contacts you to book an appointment. Instead of a phone tag situation, a WhatsApp chatbot responds within seconds, checks your calendar, and confirms the slot. That is the booking stage. Then, as the appointment approaches, an automated reminder goes out. First at 24 hours, then again at 2 hours before it. Not robotic text. A warm, personalized message with the doctor's name on it and the patient's name. Studies show this alone can cut no shows by 38%. The night before the visit, they receive their pre visit instructions, fasting guidelines if needed, what documents to bring, and where to park. Your front desk spends half the morning answering these exact questions on the phone right now. WhatsApp eliminates that. After the visit, they receive their post care instructions and, crucially, a prompt for their next appointment. Most patients intend to book the follow up but never get around to it. A gentle message 3 months later saying, "It's time for your checkup. Shall we book your appointment?" converts intention into action. And in between all of this, you stay present in their life with one genuinely useful health tip per week. Not an ad, not a promotion, a real tip about monsoon health or diabetes management or when to get a flu shot. You become their trusted health resource, not just someone they see you when they are already sick. That's the full picture. Five touch points, one channel, and zero cold calls. Now let's talk about the part that most clinics get wrong. Because here is the uncomfortable truth. A poorly run WhatsApp program is actually worse than no program at all. If you annoy your patients, they don't just opt out of your messages, they mentally opt out of your clinic. They associate your name with interruption rather than care. So, let me give you five rules that separate the clinics that build loyalty on WhatsApp from the ones that burn it. Rule number one, frequency cap. No more than two or three messages per week per patient. I don't care if it is World Diabetes Day or World Heart Day in the same week. Your patient's inbox is not your billboard. Pick the most important message and send that one. Rule number two, timings. Only message between 9 in the morning to 7 in the evening. A reminder that wakes someone up at 11 p.m. does not feel like care. It feels like an intrusion. And never message on weekends unless there is a genuinely urgent clinical reason. Rule number three, personalization. This is non negotiable. Dear patient, your appointment is confirmed is not a message. That is a form letter. Hi Ramesh, your appointment with Dr. Kulkarni is confirmed for Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. This is a message. The difference takes 2 seconds to implement and it changes everything about how the message is received. Rule number 4, segment your list. Your patient database is not one homogeneous group. A grandmother with hypertension and a 28-year-old new mother have completely different health needs and completely different communication needs. If you are sending the same message to everyone, you are being lazy and your patients know it. And rule number 5, write like a human being. Healthcare already has enough jargon. When you send a WhatsApp message, write the way you would talk to a patient sitting across from you. Short, warm, and clear. If you have to reread the message twice to understand it, then rewrite it. Follow these five rules, and your patient will not just tolerate your WhatsApp messages, they will come with them. Now, I want to address something that I hear from clinic owners all the time. This sounds great, but I don't have time to personally manage WhatsApp messages all day. And you are absolutely right. You shouldn't have to. That's what automation is for. Let me break this down by practice size. because the right tool depends entirely on how big your operation is. If you are a solo practitioner or a small clinic with one or two doctors, start with the WhatsApp business app. It is completely free. It takes around 20 minutes to set up properly, and it gives you automatic replies, message templates, and away messages. That alone will handle 80% of your communication needs. If you are a larger clinic, say three or more doctors or a specialty practice with high patient volume, you need to graduate to WhatsApp Business API. This is what powers the chatbots, allowing multiple team members to handle conversations simultaneously and integrates with your existing patient management software. There is a cost per message, but when you factor in the front desk hours that you save, it pays itself within months. Now, if you want the best of both worlds, automation without building it yourself, platforms like AI Sensei, Interact sits on top of WhatsApp API. It gives you a clean dashboard, pre-built chatbot flows, and analytics. You can see open rates, response rates, and opt out in all one place. Now, here is the most important piece of advice about tools. Do not try to implement everything at once. I have seen clinics spend 2 months choosing the perfect platform and 0 days actually using it. Start with one automation, your appointment reminder. Run it for 30 days. Measure the no show rate and then add a layer in the next one. One automation running consistently beats five automations that were set up and abandoned. Now, let me give you the numbers because at this point, I want you to walk away with something concrete you can take back to your practice manager or your business partner and say, this is why we are doing this. Clinic that implement WhatsApp reminders, not fancy reminders, just consistent, personalized, timed reminders, see a 38% reduction in the no shows. Think about what that means for a clinic that currently loses 5 slots a day to no shows. That's nearly two appointments recovered every single day. Multiply that across a month, and you are talking about real significant revenue. And most importantly, real patients whose health is being monitored instead of slipping through the gaps. When you personalize a WhatsApp message, when you include the patient's name, their doctor's name, and specific appointment, engagement rate jumps to 72% compared to that generic blast. 72%. That is the return on the 3 seconds it takes to add a patient's first name into a template. And here is a statistic that surprises clinic owners the most. 40% drop in inbound calls. When patients receive proactive information, their appointment confirmation, their pre visit instructions, their post care summary, they don't need to call and ask. Your front desk is freed up to handle the genuine complex questions. That is quality of life improvement for your staff that you cannot put a price on. And finally, reviews. When you send a post visit follow up message with a single tap to leave a Google review, patients who were happy but simply forgot to say so suddenly have a frictionless way to do it. Your online reputation grows automatically in the background while you are focusing on seeing the patients. This is not theory. These are outcomes that clinics across India and globally are already seeing. The question is simply, when do you start? Now, I want to end this practical session with something that makes this completely actionable. Because I have been through the healthcare conferences to know that gap between this sounds great and we actually did it is usually the lack of clear first steps. Here are your first 7 steps. Day 1 and 2, download WhatsApp Business. It's free. It's in the App Store and Play Store right now. And set up a clinic's profile. This means your clinic name, your address, your opening hours, your services, and a professional photo. Patients will see this before they even read your first message. It tells them instantly that this is a real professional practice. That takes 30 minutes and you will never have to do it again. Day 3, write 5 core templates. The booking confirmation. a 24-hour reminder, pre-visit instructions, a post-visit follow-up, and one health tip message. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for warm, clear, and personal. You can improve them over time, but you need something to send on day 7. Day 4. Set up your auto reply. When a patient messages you outside office hours, they should not get silences. They should get thank you for reaching out. Our team is available Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. We will reply as soon as we are open. That message costs you nothing to send and prevents the patient from feeling ignored. Day 5. Bring your front desk team into the process. Show them the templates. Walk them through a clear workflow. The best WhatsApp systems in the world fail if the people running your clinic do not know that it exists or they don't trust it. Give them 30 minutes. Answer their questions. Make them a part of solution. Day 6. Collect consent from the existing patients. A simple message to everyone in your database. Hi Jatin, we would like to send you appointment reminders and health updates on WhatsApp. Reply yes to join or stop to opt out. You will be surprised how many people say yes because your patients actually want to hear from you. They just haven't had a good channel to do it through. And finally, day 7. Send your first real reminder. Pick tomorrow's appointment list. Send each patient a personalized confirmation message. Watch what happens. Some will confirm, some will reschedule, some will ask questions, and almost none of them will be a no show. That is your proof of concept. That is the moment. This goes from a presentation that you attended to a system that is running in your clinic. Now, let me close with something that I think gets lost in all the talk about automation and open rates and no show percentages. WhatsApp works in healthcare not because it is a clever marketing tool. It works because it removes friction between a patient and the care that they need. Every unanswered call is a friction. Every missed reminder is a friction. Every patient who meant to book but got distracted is a friction. WhatsApp, done right, removes that friction. It makes it easy for your patients to show up. And when patients show up, they get healthier. That is why we are having this conversation. The clinics that are winning right now, the ones with full appointment books, the ones with 5-star reviews, and the ones with patients who refer their neighbors and their parents, they are not necessarily the ones with the best medical equipment or the most prestigious qualifications. They are the ones that communicate the best. They are the ones whose patients feel heard and cared for between visits, not just during them. WhatsApp gives you that for free with tools that are already in everyone's pockets. So I want to leave you with 3 things, just 3, to carry out of this room. First, start with a consent. Don't blast your entire patient's database tomorrow morning. Build your list properly. Earn your place in their inbox. Second, stay personal. Resist the temptation to send a generic message at volume. One message that says their name and their doctor's name is worth more than hundreds of messages that say dear valued patient. And third, be consistent. The clinics that fail at WhatsApp are not the ones who set it up badly. They are the ones who set it up brilliantly in January and then stopped in March. Is a strategy. One message a week, every week, month after month. That is how you build trust. That is how you become the clinic that patients think of first. Your single action from today, not from next week, not after you have discussed it with your team, from today is to download WhatsApp Business and set it up for your clinic. Everything else we talked about builds on top of that one step. But that step has to come first. Thank you so much for your time. I genuinely believe that the clinics or the doctors watching this video have everything they need to transform their patient communication starting this week. I would love to hear how it goes. I am happy to take questions in the comments below. And if you'd like to talk about your specific clinic situation, my email ID and my LinkedIn address are on the screen and below in the description. We will be happy to schedule a conversation. Thank you.